Hey guys, so today I coached a PLAT Jett, and his primary struggles were playing too hesitant and cautious, and also not considering entering for his team as much. And we talked about that. If you guys struggle with either of these things, this coaching session will help you out tremendously. Thanks for watching. Hey guys, so today I'm going to be coaching a player. Gonna ask him what his roles are right now. I'm gonna go ahead and join. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
Nothing much. Let me send you the VOD.
So do we insta-log Jett? Good.
Yeah, and so
Playing against golds, or are these also like low plats?
yeah, they were low plats.
Okay.
I think I went up short here.
Okay. I kind of like the idea of going long, just because you have a ghost. Wait, this guy drones. We see him straight away. I can tell we're a little bit hesitant, like just from these few seconds here.
Yeah, because I've had a lot of situations where I'll dash in and then no one follows me in.
Yeah, but we're not even talking about dashing in yet. You're just like,
Yeah.
like as soon as the round starts, I can tell. I don't know if it's a lack of confidence yet, but I can tell like here, holding here is fine, but I would probably be where my arena is. As soon as like I'm running up here to long. I'm not necessarily running into sight yet, but I'm taking this space to get up to this orb, right? Because here we're kind of shift walking. There's really no need to shift walk as well because our team's already stomping. So that's something that's pretty. I'm pretty aware of that already. Like you're kind of playing to me like a sentinel right now would on attack. Here I'd probably ask my Sova to drone anything and kind of play off the drone. Did that work? No.
Take flight.
This is a really good play.
Stim beacon down.
Our spike carrier's killed.
One little thing here, instead of, because like in my mind these people are clueless, like I'm not expecting them to know that you're here. So after I see this first person not looking at me, I'd probably keep walking out just so I could see how many people I can actually, you know, see, so I can shoot like all of them, you know. Because if you just shoot her instantly, then whenever you actually come out, there might be more that are going to be looking at you because you shot her, if that makes sense. But fortunately this guy's still not looking at you, so
3. One enemy remaining.
that was pretty good. We killed 3 here, so I probably wouldn't dash sight. I'm like, there's no
they
chance.
said he was in the corner, but he ended up not being there.
Okay. I was just thinking because your chamber can see here, so the only place he could be is like all the way back there. So that's fair. I was gonna say, if I killed 3, I'd probably just chill like where I am, like get a good spot toward B maybe, or in spawn, and just kind of sit there. I think a better way to put like what I was trying to say earlier about your hesitance is you're very cautious, but you're only sometimes hesitant, I think. Because you made a very good play so far, and I don't think you're actually playing that bad. But that is the main thing that sticks out so far from your gameplay. Again, you do this thing where you come into A and you kind of like sit here. You sit pretty far back, which is like fine if you're defaulting. But if your team is all starting A, I would just like run out long here and just try to take a fight on this angle. You see, like towards sight, clear long. You don't need to dash in there. You can just wait to see if someone's going to peek you from there, because you have the right idea here. You're waiting for them to peek short, but in my opinion, you're just waiting slightly too long. But if you're defaulting, that would be good, just because we're all here as a team. I'd like to see a little more urgency. That's just unlucky. How do you feel about your aim? Like, do you feel like your aim's good?
I feel like it's good, but I feel like sometimes like I don't know. I just like I'll
consistent.
whiff. So like
Yeah. So my idea is maybe that's why you're hesitant, and maybe quite cautious as well, is because you're not super confident in your aim. And again, that just goes back to aim training. Like, you don't have to do anything crazy for aim training. You can do deathmatch. You can just go into the range. I would suggest deathmatch, because for you as a duelist, just getting comfortable taking fights against people. Like, if you get comfortable taking fights in deathmatch, you'll be more confident just running down long, looking for a fight right here. Because especially since deathmatch, you can play on pretty much any map. It'll just get
Yeah.
you comfortable with different parts of each map. See, we're just kind of like pausing a lot, you know? Like if your plan is to just wait here, that's fine. But you could have already been up in window by now. Or yeah, very good though. So now, honestly, after I get this kill,
Here.
I'm gonna be like, okay, so our team's already being seen A as well. So if no one on your team was being seen A, I was just gonna say after you get this kill, let's just tell our team to go A. Because you're kind of like, after you get a kill, the enemy team kind of knows where you are and where you might go. Like if I'm the enemy team, after you get this kill, I'm thinking, okay, he's probably gonna go C. Whereas if you keep going up window, this has a pretty good idea that you might be here.
Yikes.
So it's kind of like changing the tempo, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah.
We could also just go C here.
I think I die here.
Yeah, because these people, like, yeah, definitely I would just jump out here. Because you see, I don't know if you notice, if you're aware of your team, but really what you want to do is just smoke dash sight probably. This is a very good play here. Just don't worry about this. Your team's grouping with the spike, and that's what's really important. Could have easily killed that guy as well, of course, though. I like this a lot right here. If we're not hard pushing A, this is very good. It's just a matter of realizing, like, if your team's all starting A, you guys want a hard push. Sitting here and being like the last one in is kind of not your job as a duelist.
Yeah.
And they're opping, so now I'm saying, all right, let's leave. Stop peeking. That's what I'd be telling my team.
Revealing area.
Yeah, like stop peeking. That guy should have easily killed 2 of you guys. Now I'm just running out. Yeah, I don't think you're scared. I think it's just like finding a balance of, because this spot's really good as well. This is one of my favorite spots for A. I used to do this as well. You're kind of like going up and down between both of these.
Yeah.
You see how you're like looking up and down. Let's go back a little more actually. So basically just pick one. I would suggest looking lower just because of how your team's set up right now. If you have someone like, for example, a short watching right here, then you don't have to look down there. You could look up here. But just because of where your brim is, it's kind of looking up toward here. You can just watch down here. But either way, you want to just pick one because looking up and down, it's just hurting you more than it's helping you for sure. Definitely be aware of this angle right here. Right here, they can actually see your head here as you're walking out.
Okay.
So you want to kind of like look over there as you're walking up, and then look back toward window or toward doors. Like right here, this angle kind of opens up. Your sub is jump spotting it, but yeah, I don't know if it's that you're not sure what you want to do, but we're just kind of like paused. We're like frozen here, right? That's what I want you to realize. So now, like, you gotta think what is the right play to do. Like, do we run out C or do we call to go back A or B? Or like, you know, what do we want to do? Do we want to rotate? Do we want to go out C? So you know there's one here now after that. Like, I just want to see. So like, you freeze here. Okay. I think probably you just go out C there, honestly. Just because of how your team's, again, grouping. I don't know if you're looking at the minimap here, but like I would see my teammates coming out here, and if I run out, you could even say like, yo, Reyna, can you trade me? I'm very low. Or there's one back PLAT, I'm probably gonna die, can you trade me? Something like that. And that'll just help you get the sight down, spike down. Like here, just like pop knives, like buy full armor. Actually, buy your Reyna. Buy full armor, buy smoke, buy your Reyna, and then buy like a shorty or a sheriff, and then pop knives. This is a very good example of when to pop knives. Your teammate needs to buy, you don't because you have knives. Are you comfortable with knives?
I feel like I'm fine with them. I just don't pop them sometimes.
Yeah, just pop them then. Because if you're not comfortable and you don't pop them, that's one thing. But if you're comfortable and you just don't pop them, it's a very easy fix. It's just a matter of like figuring out when the ideal scenario is to pop them. And that's usually when your teammates are low and you can buy them, or you're just holding them for multiple rounds. But yeah, this guy's a Spectre. You could easily have a full gun. I notice you really don't like long, so you've been pretty good about this, but I noticed there's 2 areas you don't go. You haven't gone on this map. Do you think you could guess what they are?
Yeah, C long and A long.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know why.
I mean,
yeah, go ahead.
I go there usually, but like I don't know why I didn't go there this game.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, it's just a matter of like, I don't know. I think it's good to just kind of experiment with each of them. So even if you just go C long once and then it doesn't work and you don't feel like going there anymore that game, that's fine. But if the one time you go C it works, then you're more likely to keep going there, right? So just because you haven't gone to these two spots, I would like you to kind of keep your mind open to these two spots. Because just going, especially with a Vandal and as like a duelist, I think going short is kind of, honestly, kind of tough. I think your Sova should be droning short and then going short. With someone else, maybe with you, but mainly just considering where else could we go. You also didn't clear the right corner there, which is minor, but still important. You didn't clear that right corner either. For this one. Someone could easily be sitting there. And they could, like, ace you guys.
One enemy
Yeah, your aim is good.
reloading.
It's one of your strong suits.
Flawless.
Okay, again, I think this might be another minor thing for you.
Reloading.
It's kind of like you just automatically do the same thing. It kind of ties into how you don't go A long and C long. But now you're also coming to this spot again.
Flawless.
Which is good, but I mean, they kind of saw you. They saw, like, last time they darted you. They kind of have an idea that you're here. I feel like you could probably still get away with it in this rank because it probably didn't really register for most of them. But consider where else you could play. Like, you could play in that spot in hell I told you. You can just play default. You can come over here Graffiti. Mainly because you have dash. Or you could just play close spawn and take a fight and then smoke and dash away.
Sometimes I feel like I like autopilot. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
just like
No, I'm saying definitely it's not your biggest thing that I've seen so far, but it's just a minor thing for you. I feel like we don't use dash much, actually. I feel like we kind of just occasionally use it. And with your aim, I think your aim, like I said, is pretty decent. So you could, like, smoke dash and then take sight with your team. I know you said, like, your team doesn't always follow you up, but you don't really have to expect your team to do much. You can just dash into a solid spot and take fights on your own, kind of. A little bit of a concerning thing is your hesitant and cautious playstyle kind of makes it look like you're baiting a little bit, because you see you're actually not coming out, and I don't blame you for this really, to be honest, because I don't think you're actually intending to bait. You seem to take fights on your own a lot, but you really want to go in first. Like you see here, you're not really intending on going out, and then your Jett or your Innig starts going out, and then you follow her. So
yeah.
like, this is the perks of having the dash. You can just smoke dash into the smoke. And then that makes it very, because whenever you do that, I don't know if you've played against a Jett that does that. It's very hard to kill a Jett that dashes into her smoke, consistently anyway. So that makes it really good for your team to kind of, because that's going to draw the enemy's attention, and then their teammates can just kind of follow you in. And you also have another smoke you can throw down to just kind of play with if your team's, like, being slow coming in or something. But this is a perfect scenario of where I'd be dashing, because your team is all clumped right here, like, ready to go in if we get a kill. We have the spike, we have everything, trips on flank.
I feel like I just had situations where I'll dash in, and I know it's probably like just not gonna happen all the time, but
No, but I mean, it's fair. It's just like you have to understand that Jett's, like, dashing in. There's a lot of, like, power to that. So, like, you don't even need, like, I would dash in sometimes on my own. Like, if I'm the last one alive, that's still a good play. So, yeah, if you dash in and you die, it's not. I mean, I'm not saying it whenever that happened, it wasn't your teammate's fault, but you can make a lot of nice plays with it on your own. So these guys are just holding ults, like, mainly the Brim. I'm thinking about, like, yo, Brim, let's ult garage. If you call for your teammates to do plays before the round, that's something you can incorporate. Is just your whatever ults you guys have. Like, yo, be careful of the enemy ult.
Take flight. Smoke's down.
You could definitely ask Sova to drone this as well. This is exactly what I was gonna say, actually. Like, I don't like how close you are and how close the drone is. Like, I would be waiting for the drone to fully come in and clear.
okay.
Because the problem is, like, you see the drone's actually a little bit behind you. The problem is, whenever someone hears a drone like this, they can just run out and then swing you right before the drone clears them.
Okay.
Because that's something I know that I do a lot. Just because I know people, like, what you're doing right now are going to do this. Because, like, for some reason you feel like the drone makes you feel much safer, whenever in reality someone can definitely just swing you right now. So I'd be like a few steps back, just holding this until the drone actually clears and then go in. Fortunately, he doesn't get you. Doesn't get anyone. Could easily get like 3 though.
Reloading.
This play you do a lot. Again, you're doing the same play. I feel like you don't go C. You just don't. I feel like that's a big flaw for you. Is you don't entry for your team. If your team already has sight control, it's fine. But really try to prioritize helping your team get the spike down and clearing sight. You don't even have to use dash. You can just run in if you want. Yeah, like they expect you because you've done this already like 2 or 3 times as well. So that's another reason not to do this. We also don't walk up B very much. So another play that you can do, you did this like once or twice, but you never started by walking up here. You can walk up and then just kind of look into C-Link and A-Link on these 2 angles and see if anyone's peeking you.
Okay.
And that gives you 2 free chances to get kills. Of course, if your team wants to go A, then just go here. But another thing to consider. Oh, you do pop them, nice.
Enemy spotted A.
Again, we only seem to go short here. I was gonna recommend the sheriff. This is something you see a lot in higher ranks. Like people just buy the sheriff. Because the cool thing about that is if you win pistol round, you can just keep the sheriff and just buy full armor and abilities, and you save extra money. And it usually it can often work out really nicely. But if you're not using updrafts, I would suggest buying just a smoke with a ghost. But if you are using updrafts, it's completely fine.
Revealing area.
I'd be calling Dart A.
Reloading.
I'm sad to see you not fight there. Yeah.
Area.
Like, I think you saw that there's a dart coming in, so you want to shoot that, but
Yeah, I think the dart missed, and then
I think it might have been the knife. Yeah.
Reloading.
Like, but here, I would definitely just be shooting this guy and killing him. I wouldn't be considering dashing out. I'll get that kill and then maybe dash, or just get the kill and then play around the smoke that the Jett used there. Like, you literally shoot that guy in the foot and you kill him. Like, what your sub is doing right now is what I would be doing. Play with him, even. Because the reason I'm telling you not to run away is because ideally you want to just fight. You want to get multiple kills before they can get into sight, so your team has more time to rotate, and so they don't just get sight for free. Because so if you're like a sage, it's a little different because you want to like maybe heal your team or have util for post plant. But since you're a duelist, that's literally like your job on defense. Like whenever I'm defending, I'm thinking, okay, where are they gonna go so I can fight them as soon as possible before they can plant. Like that's my intention. But here I can just tell that you're, again, it just goes back to being very cautious and perhaps a little hesitant. Whereas you're still taking the fight. It's just like, you know, you're now doing it in a less favorable position because they kind of have an idea of where you're gonna be.
yeah.
Reloading. Spike planted.
But don't get me wrong, there are some scenarios where you want to come back and fight with your team. That's just not one of them. Another thing goes back to autopiloting again. We're coming to the same site 3 times in a row, but it's actually okay right now just because they've gone A twice and they've won A twice. So why should we go somewhere else? Like, I think this is good. I'm just kind of bringing your attention to it just in case.
Yeah.
Just in case we play here like the whole half. Like, as soon as this drone's coming out, I'd be running out here. Like, I'd be running out trying to kill this Jett.
Deploying drone.
Even though I know there's one back sight. Like, you can throw a smoke right here, peek the Jett, or smoke like middle of sight and then peek back sight or something.
Okay.
You have dash to work with is my point. Like, I feel like we don't use dash much. So dash is kind of like random dismiss, or it can be used to entry for sight, or it can be used to get out of sticky situations. But we're just like shift walking around. By the time that you actually see the 2 guys long, people that actually play it well, you won't have enough time. They'll just play it. They'll play time and then you'll lose. Cause like they position pretty well. And then we're still shift walking. I would smoke the spike and just try to half it at this point. That's what I would do. So we're still coming A. There's a good chance that they might actually come here though. You're just it seems like you're just scared to peek. I don't know why. Like, peek here, it's a free kill. You have dash. Like, don't be afraid to use the dash. But it's like you're afraid of exposing yourself to too much. You know? You know why? Or do you have any insight into that?
I would say like I don't feel confident in my aim sometimes. Let's say, but
Okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense. I'm just gonna keep saying aim train.
right.
Do you ever aim train or practice at all, or like
I
never?
just do like a death match or two before a match. That's about it.
That's good. That's aim training. Um, if you don't feel confident in it, then maybe go to 3 or 4.
Alright.
Maybe like set challenges for yourself, like, you know, can I win this deathmatch game, or, you know, practice using different weapons, practice specific mechanics for your aim, like jiggling, just wide swinging people, because I think you could benefit from just wide swinging people, and then make sure that you apply what you're doing in deathmatch into like whenever you're actually trying to take a fight in a game,
Yeah.
because if you aren't, then that's not going to be very helpful. So yeah. But yeah, like you see them and then you run away. Like, what do you have a sniper for? You know, like you have a sniper to get this kill here, not just to like look at them. So in some sense, I think you're a little bit scared. So at this point, I'm gonna call you out for autopiloting here. Like you're just going A every round.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot. So as Jett, you don't need to anchor sites. You can, but you don't need to. And it's not really your job to do that. Like I said, what I do on defense is try to predict where the enemy's going, and I'm just trying to get like 2 or 3 kills before they can push the site. If I can get 2, that's really good. If I just get 1, it's okay. It's not the best, but you know, at least you tried to take the fights. And even when they do come in, you're kind of playing passive. So I think a good way to get out of this is, like, my go-to plays here on this map are to so on A I'll peek long or I'll peek short, and then rarely, sometimes I'll come up and just flank from A. That's how I play A. And then if they're hard pushing, I'll go for a kill and I'll come back and play where you play. But I'll play a little more aggressive at the start.
Okay.
But if other places you can play that aren't A, you can just peek mid and walk down mid. You know that angle I was talking about, like right here, where you didn't check? You can see people's heads, like if you walk down left side of mid here. Then you can smoke and you have dash to work with. And then you can just play C. Like, you don't have to play A every run, and you shouldn't play the same site every run. I don't know why he darted that, but
Nailed them.
now I'm running away. So like, remember we talked about this earlier? This is like, you gotta change the tempo. That's how I think of it. Like, if you get a kill, the enemy team knows where you are because you killed their teammate. So if you keep going in the same direction, it's gonna be a little more predictable. Unless they're already like running out C or something, then you can just come run garage. But I'd be running back and rotating.
Okay.
Because here they know, they might all come and fight you because they know. Here I would run through a window and go garage.
I think
Automatically
I
A.
wouldn't be this round.
That's good. Like, what made you go B here?
I don't know. We just kept losing mid, and
Okay.
we did win up mid. I think helped us. So.
Yeah, just a little sooner. Like, he can play A 2 or even 3 times in a row, but only keep going there if they're actually literally going A like every round. I would just be holding window again though. Like, I would just be willing to take the fight.
Yeah.
I would be playing up on the box here, right here. Yeah, you reposition to like unfavorable spots without realizing it. So like the most favorable spot for you here is up here in this corner or over here. Because again, you wanna, if you go to back sight, you're giving them front sight to plant, and then they have sight, and then whenever an attacking team plants, they turn into the defending team. They have a massive advantage. So
Okay.
you want to be playing like front sight and try. I swear, if you play up here in this box, you can get 2 like for free. This is fine, but this is where they're expecting you to be. Like, they're looking there. Ooh. Yeah, if you take fights from angles where enemies don't expect, then you're gonna get so many kills.
One enemy remaining.
Nice. That's how you use dash right there. Alright, good. So we swap up our position, we get rewarded for it. Thought they might go A. Yeah. Just take the fights, you know? It's like if you walk down right here, I just feel like you don't realize how much you can get away with. Like right here. If you're walking down right here, this is the angle I was talking about. Like, this guy's not looking at you. He has no clue that he can even be seen right there. The only concern is being seen from window, but again, that's what smoke and dash are for. And then you kill the Sova quickly, you readjust your crosshair to window. After you get one kill, you just play safe. That's when you can start to play safe. But really looking for opportunities to get the first kill. So let's see if we can make it. Like, see here, I don't know if you're expecting them to, like, you pause here for a second. And this also reminds me of earlier where we're talking about like trigger discipline. You pause here for a second. But I'd be beelining straight to go in, and then I wouldn't shoot this guy because I know almost for 100% that they're not going to be looking at me.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna walk in, just like we're talking about on C earlier. Walk in, see if there's any more you can get, and then kill both of them. Whereas if you just kill this guy immediately, there's a chance the second person's just looking straight at you, and it's harder to kill the second. But good. Now I'm just trying to wait for my teammates. This is good, actually.
One enemy remaining.
Yeah, your aim's decent. I think it's less about your aim, more about your confidence and like less caution and hesitance. Hey, team. So you could have already walked down mid, cleared this, and then be in window and kill this omen for free. That's what I'm thinking about. It might seem crazy aggressive, but like there's your kill, right? This guy sees you and then he doesn't even really react by the time you kill him.
Spike down mid.
It's a matter of like realizing what you can actually get away with. You haven't played C once. Pop knives, good. So yeah, you're just playing for info. Like you can play for info, but after you see someone, go for the kill, or like just sit here and hold this angle from like off to the side. Don't come back.
Okay.
Because again, coming back gives them front sight to plant if they actually intended to come B. Yeah, I think I would just like to see you try C. Thing is, if you just play one or two sites or one or two areas, you're not gonna be comfortable in the other ones.
Right.
So if you don't defend C, you're not gonna be comfortable attacking it either. Because you don't really know where enemies could play, because you don't know where you play on defense. Yeah, like you could just walk down here. You saw 4 there. One might come window, but you can walk up and hold window. This is fine. But you could have done this sooner, right? Like you could have already been behind them.
Yeah. I think I hear him rotating here.
I would cross to the left here and hold that angle. Because this is like, again, this is kind of more where they expect you to be. Good, you're out. That's pretty good. 2 for 1. Even on defense is pretty good. And that's an example of where playing aggressive really pays off. Do you have any questions?
Like, if I do any like aim training or anything, like, it's just deathmatch fine, right?
Yeah, deathmatch is aim training in my opinion. Like, it's aim training, it's practice. You don't have to download AimLab. It's kind of just what you like. I think the most important part about doing deathmatch is trying to really apply what you do in deathmatch to actually taking fights in the game. So if you're fearless in deathmatch, try to be fearless in comp. Like, that doesn't mean play like a psychopath and run everywhere and go for kills 100% of the time. But whenever you feel like you need to go for a kill or going for a kill is good, like be fearless doing it. And also, whenever you play deathmatch, consider like, consider what mechanics related to your aim you need to actually focus on, because that's important. The most important things are, I think that you're very cautious and hesitant, somewhat hesitant, and then I think you can counter those things with more decisiveness, confidence, like I said, fearlessness, another way to put it. Also, dash and entry more on attack for your team. There's also more minor things. I think autopiloting is actually slightly more than just a minor thing. I think it's like a moderate thing, but I don't think it's the most important thing. Still something to definitely think about. Autopiloting both for attack and defense though. Like, consider your options, experiment with what you can do new that could work.
Okay.
Pop knives more, clear corners, and then try to think how you could use dash in different ways as well.
Because I usually main duelist, but like it's not worth trying other agents, right? I should just like main.
So cool thing about duelist is like, what agent are you thinking, or agents?
because like I usually the only 3 duelists I've ever played is Reyna, Yoru, and Jett. I've like never played any of the other 3 or like any other duelists. I don't know if they were trying.
Oh, so you're talking about other
Learn.
duelists, not like other role?
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's fine. You can. I would give yourself like a short experimentation period, like I don't know, like a week or something, to try to figure out what you really want to main if you really want to do that. Because
Right.
that's a fair point. Like you don't want to restrict yourself to things you don't want to play, and if you want to play a completely different role, then that's something to consider too. But I think honestly, especially with Jett being nerfed, I feel like it's gonna be a pretty brutal nerf. It might not be, but I feel like definitely she's gonna be worse, at least slightly worse, maybe more than slightly worse.
Yeah.
So you can experiment with you want. Most of the other duelists aren't that good. Chamber's pretty good, but he's not really a duelist. Phoenix is not great, but he can be pretty good. You play him well. Neon's pretty trash right now. Yeah, you can just play what you think you'd want to learn. Totally fine. But yeah, I think your aim is good. You have potential to get plat with, or I mean diamond with just your aim alone.
Okay.
But just focus on the things, the main things I said, and that's gonna help you out a lot. Probably get you back to your peak soon too.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're very welcome. It's fun to coach you. I'll probably make a video out of this for tomorrow, honestly.
All right. Sounds good.
But yeah, you can message me with whatever. But thanks for being here.
Thank
All
you.
right, bye bye.
Bye.